It's a beautiful day today. That's all I gotta say. How you guys doing out there? Let's all take a deep breath and realize that there's an amazing destiny waiting for all of us out there on this beautiful earth. Gaia, she's gorgeous today. I'm here with Baby Yoda. How you guys doing out there across planet Earth? Oh man, and welcome. Welcome to morning coffee. All right. Woo-woo! Oh man, let's get it going, shall we? I got downloads for days. I know what we're doing, and oh my goodness gracious, what's going on upstairs? So this download I got are these dreams simulations started 3 weeks ago. I have not talked about them because I needed more information on what I was seeing. Right, this multiverse, these multiple realities, these timelines, you know, many different vocabulary terms for basically the blending of different frequencies, vibrations, oscillations of frequency, bandwidths of dimensional space as some of us right now and all of us in the future will be at a level that when you're in dream time, you're actually, you know, it's like lucid dreaming's the beginning, right? Like, okay, I'm lucid. All right, that's cool. Lucid's awesome. Remembering your dreams is awesome, okay? Then you guys are gonna go through levels of training. You're gonna see yourself in school. You're gonna see yourself in classrooms. You're gonna see people you went to high school with. You're gonna see your coworkers. You're gonna see classrooms, collegiate. Some of you guys are exceptional. You guys will be at schools that look like Hogwarts. And others, you know, based upon their dimension of where they are on Earth and their spatial awareness and their ancestral bloodline heritage, your higher selves have different specifications on how you'd like to be trained and what is the easiest way for you to learn. December 21st is going to be a huge alignment with Jupiter and Saturn. Main functionality is that old Bethlehem star, the original Christmas star. We haven't seen it in 800 years. Even though it's 2020, almost 2021, and if it happens every 800 years, the math's not adding up to me. 816, 2400 years would be Yeshua, but instead it's 22. Again, these calendars, I don't know. Tartaria, ask somebody. What I want you guys to understand is that the Dreamtime simulation for some of us is now being a reprieve because we've kind of gotten through this storm, even though on the surface right now in 3D, it seems like we are all waiting. Your higher selves can stare at the probability of the timeline, and so is your highest light. They're going, you guys already made it. You know, the cruise ship of us making it, right? That's where we're really going on this timeline. We're like the little anchors being dragged on the bottom, right? Like, I don't know, we almost there. What's happening? Are we gonna get these guys? Yes, and yes. All of that. What's been going on for us and the 6 guys I was training with last night? Okay, so let's talk about this. They're handing a few of us instant manifestation in dream time. Once you've passed all your 3D tests, you've processed all of this incarnation, how many years you've been here, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Once you process all of that, felt all of that, then what happens is in dream time, in the simulation programs, you then switch to past lives. Once you guys have processed enough of the past lives, then they'll give you 4th dimensional. So basically the past lives means when you were in the suit, in the physical plane of existence, this is what happened. So as of 2 weeks ago, I finally processed all of my 4D stuff and I was now watching myself as like a 9-year-old in 4D and in a classroom when I first got here. And that was pretty cool. I've never experienced that. And I was literally like, am I literally staring at my younger 4D self? And they're like, yes, this is what happened before adolescence and all this rhetoric. The 90s, basically before the 90s happened. Okay. Before some of these jagaloons got behind the wheel, right? So what I'm trying to tell you, each of you guys are going to go through these tests and these trials. What is the goal? Everyone's asking, you know, why do I have to see all this stuff? What is going on? I've asked these questions, you guys, for like 10 years, 12 years. Let me tell you the truth. I saw instant manifestation right now for the first time in 4D in a simulation program. I'm not going to tell you where we were because I don't know if it was a simulation or the real thing. All I can say is that it dealt with the Vatican and it dealt with getting some of the truth out. And for some of my forebears and some of my fellow light guardians, light warriors, galactic officers, let me tell you something. We are in those libraries. We are pulling things out. And I actually got to see the different time slips between where, like, I got to see where you go if you are like a full-blown Catholic person in that church but didn't do anything wrong. I actually saw the gardens where you exist after you pass on. Like you were a part of an organization, but you didn't do the weird stuff. You were just like a really good person praying. I saw the gardeners. I saw where they hang out. And pretty interesting. It's like monks. There's huge gardens, and there's lots of monks, and they're taking care of the gardens. That's all I can say. They were really nice people. But I can tell you, I've never seen instant manifestation happen on a tactical level before in my entire life until last night. I'm not going to pull punches for you guys. I saw a 6-man team who had each of them had instant manifestation powers going through the 4th dimension and literally morphing walls, creating an artificial wave behind the team that picked them up and rode them past guards. I saw things that would just blow your mind. Like instant manifestation, what it really is. That means you're competing against my imagination. Your guys in their conscious level are competing against an emissary of light that has been given the green light to manifest at free. So it's happening in 4D right now. How long until it hits 3D? Okay. It's something I can't explain, you guys. It's instant manifestation. It's not even like superpowers. It's kind of like the Green Lantern, right? Minus the ring. I understand how militant, consistent it is, you guys. It's not like, oh, one day, come on, Yoda, one day in the lotus flowers, right? Well, you gotta remember what Buddha did. When the bad dudes came after Buddha, every single strike or attack that they threw at Buddha, he turned into a lotus petal. He's like, get that shit out of here. Lotus petal on you. He just made it rain lotus petals on him, okay? What I'm trying to get to is that's the story. Have you actually seen it done in real time with the consciousness or modernization that's happening right now? I'm trying to tell you, it's one of the most awesome sci-fi, futuristic thing you could ever imagine. Is a team of people manifesting at will in a group effort. It's insane. Each of you guys has, dude. Okay, let me try to explain like how insanely awesome this is. Okay. Imagine you're on a 5-6-man squad. Each of you guys is a master in a specific energy form. Imagine one person's really good with, okay, keep it really simple. One person's really good with water. One person's really good with fire. One person's really good with earth, right? That's the basic stuff, right? And one's very good with metal. Imagine mixing a being that's like Magneto, Apocalypse, and I know those are like bad names from X-Men, right? Magneto's cool. He's rough around the edges, okay? He went through a lot. But what I'm trying to say is that it's like you're creating out of ether as it wraps around you and you're moving through targets at speed. At speed. I mean like wall down, ride wave, freeze, frozen, stuck. Dude stuck in the wall like it's something that they can't even really show you in Marvel, because if you saw it, you'd be like, oh, that's what a god really is. That's what we used to be able to do. That's real stuff. I've seen that. But I'm saying it's different when you're like watching something. You're like, oh, that's cute. Oh, the editors did a really good job on that one. Oh, look at the CGI on that, babe. Can you imagine how long that took to render? It's different when you're actually seeing stuff happen so fast. It's as fast as the thoughts are flipping through the being's subconscious. Now, the reason why they're pausing you guys, I know I was being watched like a hawk, and I was not point on this team. I was one of the 6 dudes watching the guy who was on point, and I was like, holy bananas. That's some high speed manifesting out of the ether on the go. To do it gracefully, and it's not like you were hurting anybody, it was almost like you become like Walter. anything that comes at you, he just manifests something and the whole group goes around it. It was like holographic chess. It was hard light hologram chess. It was beautiful. And I'm glad I got to see it last night. And I'm in training on that guy's squad. To be completely honest with you, I'm not the number one dude on the squad. I was almost blown away by what I saw. I was like, I cannot believe you can put so many manifestations in a combo. He was comboing multiple manifestations this fast. Like throwing a jab, jab, punch, but it was like wall, ceiling, grab, free. It's something I can't express. And I understand why they play and why down here in the 3D realm, it's one of the last thing any human being down here is going to be able to do is instant manifestation on that level. Now, mind you, manifesting love and abundance on this planet, let's get it. But actually active manifestation that is, oh man, it's tactical, guys. It's tactical manifestation. For all you Syrians out there, I'm starting to remind you of some stuff you know how to do. If you're from Sirius, tactical. Some of my homies from Orion, tactical. Even some of my Lyrans and some Nordics, definitely tactical. But what I'm trying to say is that it's such a fast speed that this is, okay. Imagine if a roller coaster came off the track and you're going at full speed, and imagine trying to steer it safely to the ground on a certain angle or slope where everyone lands softly. It's the amount of force behind it. It's really hard to explain. It's like, okay, know what it's like? It's like snowboarding down Everest and there's an avalanche and there's a 6-man team and every one of those guys has to be on their game and so sharp on the stick or with their sharpness. Any move is instant because, manifestations go both ways. It can be good or be bad. So what I'm trying to say is imagine trying to steer an avalanche and you're snowboarding in front of it. That's the amount of force that was riding behind that dude just to be able to instantly manifest that fast through all of the programming, through all of the dimensions. I'm trying to express what it kind of feels like to have that much power. It was gnarly, and I was super happy to watch. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. So, Dreamtime simulations. Many of you guys have been doing your work for quite some time. You are waking up and you are getting and feeling some of your powers. Okay, like I said, your power is coming back. Here's what I want you to understand. If at night you're a rock star, don't wake up in the morning and stare at a television coming at 44 hertz at 100% distraction to take you out of your power. We're about to be in one of the greatest alignments of our whole lives right now. We're never going to have what's about to go down on the 21st through the 25th. And you won't be on Earth the next time it happens. This is it. So for all the years and times of MTV Real World and ABC, NBC, and Walter Cronkite and all this, none of that will mean anything after there's a paradigm shift. If anything, it'll seem like you're watching reruns and it was last year. You'll seem like when you watch older content when we shift, it'll feel like, that was an interesting commercial I stared at for 37 years. Interesting. Are people still watching that commercial? Oh no, they still believe it. That's so interesting. Do you think they're going to graduate anytime soon? Do you think they understand what the word freedom means? Do you think they understand what the word higher self means? When we get trapped in this illusion and all you think that is real is what you can see, taste, touch, or feel, let me tell you something, guys. You're staring at biological eyeballs that see at 30 frames per second. That's why the NTSC standard for television is 29.97 frames. When your adrenal gland fires, you see at 60 frames per second. Does infrared and ultraviolet light exist in gamma? Yes. Can you see with your naked eye? No. Do we have cameras that can? Yes. We have stereo hearing. You turn your throat chakra on, you got surround sound. We are no longer in the time of arguing between belief systems. What I want to express to you as your own individual mechanic walking in one of the most awesome pieces of soft technology, your body, which runs on a fusion engine. Let your brother remind you of something. The strongest in the universe, the strongest in the galaxy, and the strongest on this planet, we are strong so that we may help others. We are service to others. And when you put your big boy or big girl pants on, we're service to all. That means even the da-da-das doing donuts, okay? And some of the judgmental functions of reality that rather not get their hands dirty on the light side. You know who you are. The main thing to understand is in this game, to sit in the middle is what's up, because you get to view the entire spectrum of reality. For you guys personally, if I just woke up maybe a year or two ago, I'd be like, yo, dude, 70, 80% light. Everything I listen to from my left-hand side, my heart side and up, everything that comes in, 100%. For those of us who have been awoke for a while, who have actually been working, gritting, clearing old battlefields, clearing cemeteries, clearing old haunted houses, clearing, goodness gracious, the political system. You know you are out there fighting against injustice and fighting for freedom so that our generations to come may understand what it feels like to be free. What I express to you is to hold the line. Do not give in to a poor program where, to be honest with you, we're not going. I feel that a lot of this stuff is already known in your heart. I'm just here to remind you, I have to lean against all the technology and things that lean upon thee to dissuade and distract you. No one down here can take you off your path but yourself. Every single time something detrimental happened to me, I did it to myself. I have no one to blame but myself in my own decision. And that's a really tough pill to swallow. Now, let me tell you something, though. Some stuff that happens to little kids, though, that's not cool. That's outside of their power, and that wasn't their decision. So I don't agree with it. Treat the children as the divinity and the sparks of creation that they are, and do not think anything less, because let me tell you something. That kid will grow up one day, and that kid will inherit this planet long after you're gone. What sort of being did you raise to carry forth and be a true steward of Earth? These are greater, deeper, wiser things I ask of you. Not this tapioca Gerber baby sauce. Can I get a Gucci purse and tattoo my face? No, please. Can we? No. Never mind. There's a joke us warriors say. I don't want to say it out loud because some of you guys may have tattoos, but I'm not going to say it. It's funny though, but I'm not going to say it. Okay, so tattoos are rad, especially the ones that mean things. Like the Maori and, the Polynesians. Things that mean. I like tattoos. That's all I'm going to say. I don't have any. But if I did get one, it would be like gigantic across my whole back. I would probably have every single one of my home worlds tattooed to each spine as it goes up my whole back. And I would probably have one big angelic Lyran wing and one big dragon. I do the whole thing. I could not get a tattoo unless I represented my whole stack of awesome beings. So if you guys are going to ink yourself out there, try to think of a deeper meaning or a deeper function to it that means something to your soul, not something that's something to your soul, not your human consciousness, your soul. I guess you could say it's human consciousness, but something that means something real. That's all. Okay. Awesome. Okay. That's changing. Like I said in the weeks past, the videos, more and more truth is coming out. It's becoming more and more obvious. Stay tuned. That's all I can say about that. Stay tuned. What else? For the first time in a long time, probably since Tartaria, I feel that what's happening right now in the United States affects the whole world, and the whole world is watching us right now to see how we play this out. And I think it's time for us to earn back the sort of respect we had, especially after World War II, even though we know how it started, which was BS, inside job and all that. But the way the world felt about Americans, I'd like to get some of that respect back. And I'd like to respect, because right now I'm getting mad respect for all the European countries out there. And my fellow Aussies and Kiwis, everyone's out there who's fighting for their freedoms right now and in the streets protesting. Paris, Vive la France, everyone that's out there fighting for their rights and freedom and the right to exist against these things. What I can express to you is this. Some of the reasons are why some of us are here. Some of us are here to observe, and I've said this many times and I'll say it again for some of you. Some of us are just temperature gauges from beings that oversee these games, these dimensions, these seven heavens, or whatever hermetic word you want to use for it. But I'm here to express to you, when I get upset at 2 in the morning when I'm watching news in another country and I pull up the dude responsible, it's difficult for me to not make an action take place. The only thing that stops me is if you change that, you're going to be responsible for it. Do you want to be here longer? Some of us are like the old brothers and sisters, like I said before, or the old gods before these stories. I don't even recognize these stories. If you guys were in stasis sleeping more than 5,000, 10,000 years, there's not a story on this planet or a name that you remember. They don't even speak the same language. Okay? They're short. They're a lot shorter than I remember, boy. Okay. It's kind of short down here. But I'm trying to say, when these older versions wake up in yourself, okay, don't be scared, but understand that they're coming from a different point of view or a different timeline, a different window into how things work, right? Because everything's happening simultaneously. So what I'm trying to express is the support you seek is right in front of you and right around you. The funny thing is, though, the support that's actually here is not only tremendous, but it's to serve the all in a very dynamic, galactic, and thorough way. We are not going to sweep the dut-da-does under the carpet after this run. There has been a decision made to exit them off this rock, period. You're debunked from the game. And that's going to be difficult for a lot of beings to swallow, considering that it's you and your higher selves that are going to be exited off the planet, not just your lower self. You're going to have to make a decision. Is that lower self worth you having to go where they have to go? These adult, higher level spiritual things, and I'm trying to give words to a feeling or an emotion. We all are one. And I totally understand that. But to be clear, some of us learn in different ways. And if there are beings that are not learning their lessons over and over and over and over and over and over again, that is detrimental to the innocence of a world blossoming into, where it should be in a timeline, that's when these elders get involved and they start making decisions. You do not want your name on that list. I don't care who you are or what you think you have on this planet. You could be a billionaire, a trillionaire. You're one of the 3 guys that no one knows their name that sits behind the councils. Let me tell you something, bro. I've been on councils talking about what you serve, and to this day, what's watching and who's going to make that decision is far beyond your understanding of, even from a species functionality. It's a galactic law protocol. It's a cause and effect. It's a universal law. You can't run from it. Okay? If you could, do you think some of the elders who've been down here for quite some time wouldn't have already figured that out? You really think you're that special that beings that were here 15,000 years ago that actually had everything and then some, technology-wise, you don't think they would have figured that out? You think you're special and that you can do whatever you want with no cause of reflection? I'm here to tell you, there are beings watching this game that'll say, hey, 10 more incarnations, you'll figure it out, buddy. High five. Now get back down there. They have no concept of time. You have eternal beings, light beings, watching this game that have no problem putting you back in this circus for another 80 years. Okay? So if you want to know how you are viewed and monitored, it's your heart. I've done activations on this planet. I showed up, huge dude showed up in Tiwanaku. It was right when that comet was going by, and I can speak about this now. Basically, after the Toltecs left, the Toltecs were a very high level, very sophisticated civilization back in the day. They're older than the Maya. They're older than the Aztecs, obviously. But the Toltecs were the OGs of Bolivia, Peru. Okay? What happened was their technology was so high that they would program the stones and everything around them. Well, they knew that if you built a city on top of Tiwanaku, Pumapunku, or some of these other places, There you go. Tell them a little bit, all right? Because I don't want to blow my horn here, but I'll give you a little taste of what I mean. If you build a modern city, let's just say on top of Tiwanaku, from ruins or an ancient culture, where every single wall, every single grain of crystalline structure has been programmed and held for thousands and thousands of years. Dimensional doorways and gates, which once were and operational. You put a modern city of people that have been wiped on top of it, what happens is there's a bleed through. That consciousness will start embedding itself, and all of a sudden you have farmers going, I'm gonna make a quantum fusion engine. Are they figuring this stuff out? No, literally the memory is within the space. Anyone that if you put them out there in a hut, 5 years later would be drawing hieroglyphs because the consciousness is in the space. Okay? So what I'm trying to say is that on that one activation, we had to remove the guard that had been put there from quite some time to keep the consciousness very, very low until these times were here to move the entire collective consciousness back to a space of oneness and that high speed once more. Speaking of high speed, 72 hours ago, we had a Schumann blast of almost 800, right? Between 80 and 800, that's pretty impressive. There's a lot of X-ray and solar wind slamming into our ionosphere. There's many things happening right now all around you guys. I've never heard of 800 Schumann hit spike before. That's brand new to me ever since I've been watching this stuff. Literally, the energy is changing around us. My thing for you guys is to remember how important it is to stay grounded. Try and be a good person every day. Understand that you get bonus points for being an awesome, good person in the middle of density. You don't get punished more. You get rewarded more for being able to hold your light in a very dense area. And to understand that the most important thing that you can do for one another is, first, raise your own vibration, heal what you have to heal, and work on that, and then do it, and then help your family, your friends, and everyone around you. In that way, you can walk and wear many lives in one. So if you have 6 friends and they all started, say, in Manhattan Beach, California, let's just say, or your hometown, and they went across the planet, you haven't seen them, they all learned different things in different cultures, and they came back together for a team huddle, and you sit in a circle and you go, what did you learn? What are your truths? What languages did you learn? What did you learn about the herbs, the medicines, this, the that, the political system, the financial? What did you learn? And then you switch between those 6 people, and they all share their wisdom with you. You've now just gained the life experience of all your friends and family. So I'm trying to tell you, we do this for each other. So where we go, when do we go all, right? I just can't wait for, as the sun comes out, they can't keep this, it's difficult to keep the shades closed all the time, right? All right. Now that Yodi has spoken, Yodi, let's just kick it here. The feeds are weird. The feeds are weird out there, bro. I'd rather listen to some good music and dance with Yodi in the sun, personally. Speaking of gridding, I made a ton of grids. I've been asked a lot of questions about gridding. So let me tell you some basic functions for gridding. If you guys are light workers, you guys want to grid your house, you want to grid your neighborhood, let me explain some of the basics for you. So, get it, Yodi. You got the dragon's blood, Yodi. You got to keep that juju. You got to keep that juju off of you, bro. I know it's Grow. Forget from the Mandalorian. I still like Baby Yodi. Call him little Yodi. Okay, so gridding. Let's get one of these at school. All right, so. Dun, da, da, da. Okay, so a grid. I feel like Tron, the grid. And then I got in. So gridding your house is really important. Real casually, why is it important? I don't like multidimensional beings, spirits, or anything my neighbor's higher selves. As for example, if I was in an apartment building in Los Angeles, I don't want my neighbor's 4D walking through my living room when I'm in a perfect space and harmony, and he's next door doing a bunch of dope, calling in all kinds of weird shit. Okay? Why do I tell you guys this? It's because you're supposed to be able to protect and grid your space. Okay? That's why people move. They go, I don't know, I got to get out of here. Well, why? Well, what's around you? So I'm trying to say gridding your space is really important. Another thing too, what's some cool stuff? Always grid within sacred geometry stuff. Triangles, Metatron's cube. I always like to do pyramids, 1, 2, 3, and then a Merkaba, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On the biggest activations I've done, I had to do a 12 with one in the middle. That was to lock down an area in Easter Island. So depending if you guys are light workers, gridders, there's different stages of beings that watch and that we hang out with here on Morning Coffee. What I'm trying to say is that for those that are advanced, the strongest one I found is a 12-pointed star with one in the middle. The one grid you put in the middle, you have a copy of it and you take it to your house, and so you're always jacked into the control center of that grid. So for some of us who've been gridding for quite some time or in different incarnations that have been working these ley lines or understand how the energy flows on this planet, understand that every single main activation that you will do, you're always going to want to have a piece from that grid set with you at all times. So say you gridded with 24 pieces in 3 different locations, or 2 locations, depending, or 3 or 4 locations. You got to have a grid that you take home from that space. So what I used to do was I used to take a stone. So say I'm gridding an area. At the center of that area that I'm gridding, which is all, your higher selves tell you where to go. I'm on full-blown autopilot. I'm like, oh, 4 miles that way and 2 clicks to the right. I'm like, here we go. When you get out there, what I do is I take a stone from the center of that grid and I take it home with me. I put my grid down, take one of the grids that I made for that group, but I take a rock home from the center of the grid. Why? I come home, I crush that, and I make a special grid that is actually the frequency of the area that I gridded. So I've Spider-Man myself across the planet, and it's really important, you grid workers out there, to do that for yourself, because when you do that, you create your own freeways for you to travel upon it and jump to. I don't need to ask access to jump to Bolivia. I don't need access to jump to the top of Machu Picchu. England, Scotland, US, Canada, Egypt, Valley of the Kings, my grids are all up in there. Temple of Karnak, I'm up under the pillars in the Temple of Karnak. So what I'm trying to say for you guys out there when you're doing stuff, just think about it as your own personal door key to assist this planet in whatever they need to handle. So if you have that sort of understanding or appreciation, for Earth, and you're really trying to help out, that's what I do. I just keep saying, because what happens is on this Earth planet is, if you don't take responsibility for something, how can you fix it? So I got used to jumping over to the Egypt stuff, and I go, you know what? Everything was my fault. Hand me the car keys. I'll fix it. Give it to me. And they're like, oh no, the order and this and that. I'm like, listen, I'm here now. This has not been adjusted. It's been quite some time since I stared at it. And let me tell you something. You irritate me by not having this adjusted now. Give me the car keys. I have to go into that mode. And they're like, okay. What I'm trying to say is when you guys actually know yourself and know why you're here, all this in-between doubt stuff fades away. I go, give it to me. I'll fix it now. No. You've done enough. Back up. Thank you. Hand it to me. But to be that guy, you got to know how to engineer or fix it. You know what I mean? And same thing. Yeah. And anyways, that's sort of the understanding I'm trying to share with you. The more you practice, you grid your park, you grid your house, then you grid the park in your neighborhood. Okay. I'm having a huge sale on grids today. I'm gonna hook you guys up. I'm gonna dial you guys in so you guys can grid your neighborhood, grid your house, take over the whole area. Why? I'd rather be on a planet where all my homies, higher selves, keep them in check so that I never have to say something negative or give some sort of direct, control thing or some direct answer or some tell you what to do. No. I want you to be just like me. Your own higher self's on you like white on rice. And they're like, is that an integrity? Is that how you'd like to be treated? Like, I'd rather your own higher selves be chiming in on you and keeping you straight. That's what we do together. We're not here to babysit each other, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to work together. Okay? So that's what I mean. You know, you guys are all excellent, awesome, beautiful beings out there. Straight up. Like, and you guys each have specific skill sets. You guys each come from just awesomeness. And it's a pleasure to know you guys on this run. And it's a pleasure to know you guys and work with you guys and hear your guys, what you guys are going through. Yes, I do read a lot of requests and things. Sometimes I don't respond because I punch in and I take a look at it. The thing is that you guys, the whole collective consciousness is moving so fast, it's almost unrecognizable. I just want you guys to understand, if you guys haven't really taken a look at where we are right now from 2015 or 2012 or 2007 we are so fast right now. It's almost so fast, it's almost like blurry. It's like you're going through a wormhole and then everything's just blurry. You're like, I don't know. What did you eat 2 weeks ago? I'm like, I don't even know where my car's parked. You know what I mean? I don't even know. I don't even know who I am right now. What I'm trying to say is we're going very, very fast. Okay? Don't get too caught up in the distraction and the negative stuff. All right. That's all I like to say about that. Just another dream. All right. How to use grids and what we got going on. Okay, so I told you guys I was going to do a stocking stuffer. Okay? So this is what I did. Made grids all over the planet. I made certain mixes that I wanted to make for my own grids. These mixes are in these devices I'm about to show you. I also did something which was kind of an accident, but it kind of wasn't. I crushed up 5 or 6 sacred sites, and I can't tell you exactly which sites, but what I did it in the rock crusher and all the blend mixed, instead of cleaning it out like I was supposed to, I just added black tourmaline and shungite, and I mixed all of that into a bunch of black mix that is now in all my devices. Okay, so, I don't know, Tiger Temple in Bhutan, Valley of the Gods, Valley of the Kings, I should say, Egypt, Thunder Mountain, all the good stuff around Earth. I don't want to get into too many locations because I don't know exactly what I can say. So, what I did was I made a bunch of these. I made a ton of grids. So these are really cool and they're all different. Every single one is exactly different. Okay? Why? Because when I was making pyramids and stuff, I make this crazy alchemy for specific things, and then the excess, I'd go, what am I gonna do with all this excess? So it would say it would be like this much left over in the cup. I'm like, well, I'll pour it in this mold. Well, what happens is I started making things that are 15 layers thick in this little device. So what I'm trying to say is they got kind of like, whoa, compressed. So this is like 2 years worth of these things. Not like I just made these. And then they got mixed with that, the good, right, of stuff. And so anyways, that's what I did. So a lot of these were just smaller discs. I was like, ooh, a coffee mug. I could put a coffee mug on this. Little Flower of Life, little shungite black tourmaline. Then I took all of these and I put it back, and then I mixed that magic juice, and I made them obviously full size, which is what you're seeing now. So real simple. Okay, this is what I mean by I made some things. Check this out. Oi. Can I open sesame? You're heavy. Come on. Okay. I mean, I made some things. I made a lot of things. I didn't really know what I was gonna do, but I was gonna grid something very large, and I don't know. I felt like everyone should have the opportunity to like feel what it feels like to lock down their space, to grid something that's not yours, to bury one of these under a huge tree in a park and take control of a park, take control as a steward of an area, grid a mountain range. So anyways, I made a bunch of grids for you guys. It's something that if you're into gridding, you understand what I mean. Another cool things you guys can do with these plates, okay? I got lots of them. Some you can hang, some come with little hooks, so you can hang them. So if you got 5G in a tower, just hang that up on the wall, okay? When people have Wi-Fi routers, your Wi-Fi router, any modern router has a 2.4 gigahertz and a 5 gigahertz channel. So here we go. get your router. You can either put this underneath the router or put it on top of the router. Okay? Now, you can put one of these under the router. The black tourmaline and shungite's going to eat the frequency. It still works, by the way. I still have good, decent internet in the house, but I do notice when I really layer my things over, because I tested it. So what I usually do is, with the smaller guys, I put it on top. Boom. Okay? Same thing with your cell phones. You go to bed at night, you put your phone on. Even when it's in the airplane mode, it's still transmitting information. I put my phone, I stick it on top of this, I move it 6 feet away from me. Full, what is it? Like just full arm's length away from your face, airplane mode, stick it on top of one of these, okay? The black tourmaline is awesome for, you can read about black tourmaline, but it's great for reflecting and absorbing electromagnetic frequencies and radiation. Okay, shungite transmutes because it has the buckyball molecule. So I basically mixed those two components together, plus a bunch of other stuff, and then I magnetized it and then added titanium and brass with the push side of the magnets going up, pull side pulling magnetism from the ground, so it creates a toroidal field in which it's constantly cleaning the energy. Whenever you guys make orgonite, you got to look at it and go, is it pulling magnetism from the grid? If you don't have magnets in it, you got to take another look at it and go, push side up, what does he mean? I mean, when you take a stick of magnets and they're all stuck together, now you pull them apart, you flip them over and they push. Where that thing pushes, that's up. So when you drop it in the mold, which is upside down, push side up goes down. So when you pop it out of the mold, the push side, so what you want to do is pull magnetism from the grid, shoot it through the device, it should filter it, and then direct the current either through a, Lemurian or Tibetan quartz, or like I said, with some of these, like blue azurite is awesome for your third eye and stuff. So if you guys check out the store.teamlight.com, right now there's a Christmas sale going on because a lot of people were messaging us. Why are we doing this again? Because everyone was messaging us. I missed the sale. Please hook me up. Hook me up, bro. I'm in Australia. Hook me up. Shit's crazy out here, mate. I'm like, all right, I got you. So I think it's 11% off anything on the EMF plates in the shopping cart with the coupon code Morning Coffee. And then on their special deals on stuff like this, like these guys, like this Taurus, this is like $170. It's normally like $400. Why? Because there's certain imperfections. And I was like, yo, but here's the truth. The energy is exactly the same as a $400 one. It's $179. I was like, I don't know. I'm just doing this for you guys because I want you guys to have the energy, and the more I give to the universe, the more I receive. And it's the same thing for you guys. The more you give, the more you receive. So I like hooking people up. I like people ordering stuff and I throw in some goodies. I'm like, here's a little Yoda for your kid and here's a little keychain for you. I like doing that because it makes me feel good because you're actually giving someone light. Now, okay, so another thing, I'll talk about this. Okay, so sometimes you're super stressed out and you're laying in bed and you do not know what to do with this anxiety or stress. This is what you do. You take one of these plates, the black tourmaline shungite one mainly. If you got a bunch of weird tension, anxiety, or you got a kid that maybe kind of gets freaked out or gets really stressed out sometimes, what I do is I go, give this to your kid, have him put it in his right hand, and what you want to do is push all your chi from the center of your right hand into the device. It'll chew it up. Push your chi and get rid of it. Move the negative energy into something that can actually transmute it. Now, if you want to relax and be chill mode, put this on your left hand. Pull the energy in, calm down. I remember sometimes when I had really rough nights, dude, you can turn one of these into a little pillow, bro. You take this thing, you go, I'm feeling kind of weird. Get your pillow, put it on top, put your hand on it like this, go to bed with the pillow on top of it. Night, night. Anything that's gonna help filter the energy around you right now is gonna help you. So I'm trying to say, anything that you guys have, it could be, salt lamps and selenite, but right now, whatever you guys are using out there, it's a good time to use it and really take care of yourself in temple space. That's what I recommend. So I'm doing my best to assist with you guys and help you guys out and hook you up. That's the homie hookup. So I think what I did is He got mad at me. I was like, can I just do the buy one, get one free? And I'll just like intuitively stick like a gift in there. So if you guys want the buy one and we just hook you up gift, email support@teamlight.com with your request on the EMFs. We're just doing the plates and EMFs because those are ready to go and I can get you those out the door. And on all the stuff on the shopping cart, the shipping is included domestic. That's the price. It's coming in hot. And we're gonna mail it out to you guys as fast as possible. Okay, enough about the sales stuff. Just wanna let you guys know. So, what are some important things to understand specifically about these days coming? Okay. I don't know specifically what's gonna happen on December 21st. I don't know specifically. I feel something's about to happen. I can tell you I'm getting precursors to what sort of abilities or understanding, or imagine if your dream time actually turned into you're actually split from your suit and you realize you parked it in the house, but you're completely conscious of walking in another world every time you close your eyes. Would that be ascending? Would that be working in a different reality? If you were, again, when you're awake in this place, you're really asleep. And when you're asleep, you're really awake, right? So what I'm trying to say is what specifically is changing? And I'll give you guys a little secret. Because I was asking my guides, I go, so ascension, huh? Do I get to keep my body? The answer is some. And I was like, okay, some people get to keep their vessels. They go, it depends. Kids will have a much easier time. Based upon probably the stuff and the damage and the stuff that we've done. I mean, you gotta be honest with yourself. You know, we're not all running the Daytona 500 right now. You know what I mean? Like, we gotta be, I've done things in my body. We all have things. We have to work on the detox and the cleansing, all this stuff that we're doing, right? The kids will have a much easier time. So I said, what's the switch over? And he goes, son, if you ascended into 5D in your consciousness, let's just say a fractal version or a lower version of you came into the suit, who would know? And I was like, whoa, you mean like, remember that one movie where he goes off to save the galaxy? It's like an 80s movie. He's like a starship or, come on, what's the name of that one movie where he's like the starship, he plays the arcade game, and then Starfleet, Star Commander, or whatever it is, you know what I mean? Gosh, what's it called? Someone will put it up there. What is the name of that movie? From the 80s, where he's playing a video game, and then he beats the game, and then he's got the Last Starfighter. Okay, that's I go, you mean kind of like the Last Starfighter? Like you go off and like a clone or something comes in, they go, not a clone, but your consciousness goes to 5. Okay, not War Games, it's the Last Starfighter, don't get crazy. YouTube, I love you. What I'm trying to say is that the copy and paste of your consciousness existing in the 5D. So what I'm trying to get to is that vibration that we hold and what we're moving towards together, I wish all beings, sentient beings on this planet, to move there. I think we're all doing a great job. I think there are many protocols and things that we have to look forward to. And I think even though it seems like we are not 100% like in this unity function, we are definitely moving towards unity right now with what we all need to work on. So that's what's the most important thing to understand. All right, that, ladies and gentlemen. So for all you guys, I was messing with people. I'm like, hi, I'm Rion. But like I already ascended. It's like my lower version. Like, hey, I'm Rion. What's up, bro? You want to like go surf, dude? Hey, I'm like, wait a minute. You're like different. You're like, what do you mean I'm different? Is it really me? What I'm trying to say is, imagine you are in a relationship, you ascend, and your girlfriend's like, hey, are you phoning it in? You're like, yeah, babe, we're in this together. Like, you've already energetically made a jump. So I'm trying to say it's happening right now. It's happening right now. You guys are shifting into a higher frequency and having more awareness of everything around you. So it's almost like the ascension process is in full swing. But to break down your thought process, how fast you've changed, what you guys think about now. What do you think about all day long? I think about building the city of light every single day. I think of electron microscopes staring at the interior walls of my facility and how fast the walls oscillate. I'm staring at the magnetic function. I'm studying where can I get a 15-ton lodestone to actually levitate large things in a room. What are you guys thinking about? What I'm trying to say is that where's your consciousness? What are you thinking about? So I just want you guys to know that I love you guys very much, but now it might be time to go, okay, we've had enough of this lower stuff. What should we be working on upstairs? So I just want to let you guys know I love you, but don't let go of, how many, it's purveying, processing, manifesting. That's what we need to focus on. So I love you guys, and I want you guys to have a blessed day. Hey, stay in the light, all right? And last Starfighter, baby. It's the last Starfighter time, all right? So I want you guys to know how much you love and appreciate it, and check out store.teamlight.com. I will have more updates next week about some very specific things that are going on right now. But for right now, I want you guys to understand now is the time to get in peace, in abundance, get your manifestations ready for December 21st as we get closer to these dates. Manifest the type of world, the belief system, and the reality that you wish to walk in. It's very important to understand that right now and take advantage of this time that we have until our great Christmas star comes once again. All right, you guys, I love you, and you guys have a blessed day, okay? Peace. Yodi! Yodi! All right. Yodi! Yo, bro. Last Starfighter, baby. All right, YouTube. We love you guys. You guys have a blessed day. And remember, your heart is always your way home. The truth is always found from the inside out. All distraction is always found from the outside in. Pay attention to what you believe and what you're putting energy into. I love you. Peace.